probably have heard in sales, we don't buy from our logical brain, we buy from our emotional brain. There's no logical reason anybody would spend what it costs to go to Disney and the cost of everything there. But emotionally, you think about your kids smiling. You think about how happy they're going to be. You just then find a way to find that money and pay for it. So it's going to be a wrong idea to approach fitness sales from a logical standpoint, because this is how the client often comes to you, is opening questions are often logical based, which is, where are you located? What are your session times? Is your workouts beginner friendly? What's the price? These are all logical questions and almost never the reason that someone buys.
This is the Reinforce Your Gym podcast with your host, Dustin Vogel. This show is about arming gym owners with the tools, strategies, and lessons they need to take their business to the next level. That way, they can make a greater impact in their community. Now, let's get to work and reinforce your gym.
Gym owners, welcome to another episode of the Reinforce Your Gym podcast. This year, I wanted to specifically focus on giving you guys value with the least amount of time as possible. And it's not because I'm trying to save time, it's because I know you're busy and I want to pack these podcasts to be the most valuable podcasts you listen to, that you save them, you share them, and you revisit them, all right? So today, I'm going to share with you guys 21 ways to get your leads to respond. All right, that might sound like an overwhelming number. Truth is, it probably is a lot for me to cover on this podcast. That's why I'm not going to actually go over all 7, okay? Here's the truth. Today, we're going to just cover 5 because I want to give you the 5 that are the most actionable that you can go deploy today. The other ones, I'm going to give it to you in a free guide at the end of the episode, all right? So let's get into it. Here's the truth, okay? 80% of sales in your business are going to happen from the 5th to the 12th contact, all right? You hear all about this, call them 2 times in a day, 3 times in a day. Well, that's going to work for some people, but it's not going to work for most people, all right? We know this because we have the data, guys. We've helped gyms add over $15 million in added revenue since we launched Gym Reinforcements. So we have lots of gyms we're looking at, and we look at the contact that is basically the big domino, the one that a sale happens from. And it tends to fall between the 5th and the 12th contact, all right? So make that note in your head, because here's the big problem we're going to be attacking today. Most gym owners often reference they have a lead quality problem, but the truth is they have a lead follow-up problem, all right? Now, here's what you're probably doing. You're putting money into Meta ads, maybe even Google ads, maybe even print ads. And so essentially you're putting out all this money and people are seeing it, they're opting in, but they're not opting in at a time that's optimal for you. You could be coaching a session, you could be in a meeting, you could be running your kids around town. So then you're losing the opportunity to sell this person because they're cooling down on the excitement, right? And you've probably been there. You added something to your cart and then you got distracted, and then you decided on second thought, I'm going to take it out of my cart. I don't want to spend the money. So this happens in all sales, especially in fitness, because it's the only thing that you sell where the person gives you money and then they do the work, all right? Most other service businesses, the service provider does all the work, right? So here is what I want to point out in terms of some stats, okay? 5 to 10% of your leads are in 10 out of 10 pain and they are ready to buy now. These tend to come from 2 camps. It's either people who are already at a gym and they want something new, they want to challenge themselves, they want to see what you're all about, see if there's going to be something different than what they're experiencing at their current gym, right? So you're transferring a gym membership. The second is a newly activated person, okay? This is someone who is not working out. You're activating them into the fitness population. They finally hit that critical mass. They've gained enough weight. They've, basically let their health go. They're having negative self-talk. They're at that point where they're saying, dang it, I got to do something about this. And that is a newly activated person. Those are the only 2 camps you're going to get in your gym. Ask yourself, how many of those people actually are living in your area and are, opting into your ad? Only 10 to 15% on the high end, all right? And so don't get frustrated if you get 100 leads and only 10 become buyers. You're actually at average. If you get above that, you're above average, okay? Now, does that mean you wasted your money and those other 80, 90 leads are a complete waste? No, we actually see an additional 20% are in that 6 to 9 out of paying, and they buy on day 60 and 90, right? So like if you only see 10% conversion in a 30-day window, you can see up to a 30% conversion in a 90-day window. The problem is most gym owners are so short-sighted, they're only tracking their 30-day cash collected, and they're not opening that up to a 90-day cash collected, which is what a smart business owner should be doing, because you are here for years. You signed a lease for years. You are going to be in business for years. Why are you only looking at your leads that buy this month? All right, that is not smart. And I would challenge you to expand to that 90-day tracking, right? Because then you'll see the short-term buyers and you'll see the long-term buyers, and it'll help you to justify that ad spend. All right. Now, the other 70%, because I said 10% are hot to buy, 20% are a little delayed. What's the other 70%? They're just in no hurry. They're in 1 to 5 out of 10 on the pain scale. So this could be someone that has no weight to lose. They have no health issues, or maybe they're just happy the way they are, right? And they're not in any urgent place. Everyone has a different thermometer. And when things finally get to this point where they're like, I can't take it, I got to do something. I mean, I've had people walk into my gym that were 100 pounds overweight, and they said, I totally feel fine at this weight. I don't have any problems. So it's like, okay, you need to go pack on more weight, and then you'll call me then. So that's the big thing I want to call out is like, what is going on with your ads before I give you these strategies and how to get them to reply. So let's get into these strategies. Okay. The first one you probably heard, but I'm going to give you some extra stuff you might have not heard, is good old speed to lead. Yes, we need to call them as fast as humanly possible, ideally in 1 to 5 minutes of them opting in, because someone is still looking at their phone probably, and you can get a hold of them. Here's what people don't think about. What if you got speed to lead and people are busy at work, right? Or they're doing something and they can't participate. They opted in while they're standing in line at the store, and then you're calling and then they're like, I can't talk right now. So it's like, don't think speed to lead is this god of lead nurture, that if I do this, all problems will be solved, money will be raining from the heavens. Like, we've got people doing speed to lead, and let me tell you that it's not just the secret sauce that a lot of marketing agencies or gurus will make you think it is, right? It is critical. We do see an increase in sales, but we don't see 50% more sales like I think a lot of gym owners expect, right? So again, manage your expectations. This is still under 3 to 5 contacts, right? If I call them right now and I call them again in 2 hours, I did 2 contacts. When did I say most sales happen? 5th to 12th contact, because you might have had speed to lead. It just might not be a good time for them, right? So just don't beat yourself up and understand what's going on the other side of the phone. All right, so a couple things you could do. Obviously, set up a trigger automation to go to whoever is doing your lead nurture the minute a lead comes in, and to reach out to this person, and obviously send them a text saying, hey, this is an automated message. Our team will get a hold of you ASAP. And I like to add a question so that if they're a texter, they can start engaging with us on text. So it could be, hey, so while you're waiting for our team to reach out, what is your number one fitness goal? Or what are you looking to achieve in our program? And if they feel ready to start talking there, boom, they can start doing it. All right. Now, let's move on to number 2, which is to personalize. Okay. I see a lot of gyms sign off their texts and emails as the team from XYZ Fitness, or hey, this is the crew at XYZ Fitness. People want to buy from people, and that's where the trust begins, right? So you should always say, this is Dustin with XYZ Fitness, not the team. I want to personalize it on my end so they know who they're talking to. And then I want to personalize it on their end. I want to put their first name. I don't want to put, hey, saw you opted in for this program. I need to put, hey, Sarah, hey, Mike, I saw you expressed interest. So personalize it. That makes it feel so much more like we're having a genuine exchange. And the other thing is, it's about being compliant, right? And so when you're texting mass amount of text that are all templated copy and paste and there's no differentiation, you actually start getting marked as spam. So by putting in the contact first name, every text looks different, so you're not getting marked as spam. But if you put the same message and it gets sent out a lot of times in a day, there's a high chance to certain carriers you can start looking as spam. So that's the other thing. We want to have differentiation, and then the easiest way to do that is to just personalize every text, okay? Now, I'm going to move on to strategy number 3. We're going to get a little bit more advanced here. Channel rotation, okay? That means not just text, that you build in emails, you build in DMs on social media, you build in phone calls. There's a lot of different channel rotation because someone says, hey, we'll text them the minute they opt in. Then they get another text 2 hours later. Then they get another text the next day. Well, think about the buyer's preference. Some people like to text with businesses, some don't. Some rather write an email, some rather get on a phone call, some rather do a Zoom, right? So understand that you got a lot of different buyer preferences out there, and the more rotation you can hit, the better, because you're just going to cover more bases, right? So, like personally, I don't like to get texts from businesses. I rather read their emails. I'd rather get on a phone call. I'd rather follow their social media. I don't like to get text from business. I opt out a lot of them. So if that's you, you might say, you know what, like I like to text, but I'm not an email. My email's blowing up. I have thousands of unreads. I'm going to unsubscribe from their email list. Cool. And another person might say, you know what, I'm super antisocial. I don't want to get on the phone. I want the self-checkout like path. Like give me the text, give me the checkout page. I'll take care of myself. I'll check out my own self, right? So like there's a lot of different preferences. And if you only do what you like, you are losing a lot of sales. All right. So make sure you rotate. The one way that you want to think about it is text is very short, like a friend, 1 or 2 sentences. Email, you can build in a lot more description. You can put images, you can put a lot more visuals on there to make it a little bit more engaging. And then finally, a phone call, let them hear your voice, right? Leave voicemails. A lot of people will call and just not identify themselves. Well, I don't know about you, but when I get phone numbers I don't recognize, I don't pick up. And then if they don't leave a voicemail, they're definitely not going to get a call back. So be friendly and leave voicemail so that they do actually call you back. But one of the tricks is to make sure that there's a juicy reason to call you back, right? Like it could be that you have a special offer that is ending this Friday. So you're urgently trying to get a hold of them so they don't miss out on it. You know, whatever kind of special deal or incentive or fun thing that's coming up, mention that in the voicemail. And then people are now chasing you and calling you back a lot more urgently. All right. So that's the third strategy, a little bit more advanced, but it's an easy one. I would just say pick one that you want to add, right? If you're a texter, just add email. If you're a texter, add phone call, but add one more and just keep continuing to build until you diversify into at least 3 or 4 channels. All right. Hey, gym owners, let's be honest. You do not love lead nurture. You want to get this off your plate, and that's why I created Gym Reinforcements, okay? We have appointment setters both in the U.S. and offshore so that we can take lead nurture off your plate and get those leads walking through your door so you can change their life, all right? And we pride ourselves on being one of the most budget-friendly services you're going to find. So if you want to learn more, go ahead and book a call. Go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call with our team, and we'll see how we can help. Okay, going to strategy 4. This is a good one, guys. Using emotion-based questions, not logic-based questions. All right, so let me explain. You probably have heard in sales, we don't buy from our logical brain, we buy from our emotional brain. There's no logical reason anybody would spend what it costs to go to Disney and the cost of everything there. But emotionally, you think about your kids smiling. You think about how happy they're going to be. You just then find a way to find that money and pay for it. So it's going to be a wrong idea to approach fitness sales from a logical standpoint, because this is how the client often comes to you is opening questions are often logical based, which is where are you located? What are your session times? Is your workouts beginner friendly? What's the price? These are all logical questions and almost never the reason that someone buys. No one says, oh, you're on the corner of here and here, and great, you got a 7 a.m. session, and you know what? That price fits in my budget. Let's go. And they just want to sign up, right? I could promise you that is not going to be a long-term way to grow your membership base. You got to get into people's feelings and emotions and understand what is triggering them and what is fueling them and what is their desires. And when you ask those questions, number one, you stand out because most gyms are not asking that, and they immediately mark you as the gym that cares. But number two, they feel just so much more emotionally attached to you, your brand, your services, and it's not transactional where it's just do this for this amount of money and I'll turn it off when I no longer want this for this amount of money, right? So here's some examples. Instead of where you're located, what are your session times, what are your prices, how are you feeling about your health right now, right? Tell me. Boom, I'm going to let them kind of get into it. What's the most frustrating part about your health and fitness right now, right? And so I'm leading with a lot of questions where feeling, right? How do you feel about your health? Tell me what is the most frustrating thing about your fitness. Besides yourself, who else are you motivated to get healthy for? Do you got kids? You got a spouse? Like, who are you going to show up for when you don't want to show up for yourself? These are the deep questions that make people really think deeper about their fitness, right? And they create a connection because now you guys are sharing a moment, right? Do you feel any physical pain in your body right now? Anything in your knees, your back, your shoulders, right? So like I'm hitting them from all places about their weight, about their physical pain, about emotional pain, about mental pain. Like I want to check 3 or 4 boxes so that there's so much pain. They're like, I just want to get out of this and I want to get out of it ASAP. And so that's your job is you, when you are selling, are leading the conversation with your questions. You come with logical questions. I promise you, you are being price shopped and you're going to lose a lot of sales opportunities. But when you stop people and you switch them to emotional, you got them, right? And they can feel that you care because most gyms are not stopping and asking these emotional questions. All right, so that's number 4, powerful. So definitely implement that. All right, my 5th one is all about pattern interrupts, okay? So in today's world, we are being hit from so many different places, social media, text, emails, phone calls, just things in our own mind that we're trying to remember to do. So you have to do something to stand out, right? And so the boring message is, hey, name, this is Dustin with ABC Fitness, just reaching out, right? Our brains look for patterns. And one of the sales guys I've learned a lot from is Jeremy Miner. He always makes this joke that he wants to throw up the minute a salesperson says, just circling back, just checking in, just wanted to follow up, right? Those are almost like anti-sales words that our brains know when we read that, oh, sales guy trying to sell something. And immediately we ghost them, we run away, we avoid them because we've registered they're trying to take my money. They're a threat, right? So you do not want to use these words in your follow-up. You don't want to say just following up, just circling back, just checking in, because they immediately put you in the box of salesperson, right? Coming after me. So instead, we want to move towards solving a problem and giving them a full solution with a start date, right? So it's like, hey, I know we talked 2 days ago about you getting started with our fitness program. Would love to get you in our group that starts Monday so we can start attacking your body transformation goals. How does that sound, right? So now I put it on a problem and making a decision around, do we want to solve this together on this date, right? Rather than just circling back, just checking in. You're kind of throwing the ball in their court to decide how to respond to that. And it's not usually going to be in your favor. But when you say, hey, bringing us back to the problem that you came to me for, I have the solution, I have the date, are you ready to go, right? That's the best way to do it. Now, when you have leads that are completely ghosting you and they're going cold on you and you just need that reply, right? Like that example I gave you is you've already met with them and you're trying to send an engaging message to get them to re-engage and commit. Well, I want to also arm you with these pattern interrupts for just your database of leads, people who've just been in there hanging out and they're not talking to you. How do I interrupt their day, right? So like, obviously I like to put a big capital word at the beginning or some sort of just pattern interrupt. So here's a couple that I wrote down, okay? Stop what you're doing with the stop sign emoji. We just had a client share their amazing results and you have to see this for yourself. Can I send you the testimonial video, right? And so like that is like stop what you're doing is like the most pattern interrupt you can do. Reality check, all caps. Most people overestimate how long their fitness transformation will take. How long do you think it's going to take you to reach your goal? Right. So I just wanted them to talk to me. That's really all texts are meant to do is respond, talk to me, give me some engagement. Energy check, all capital with the lightning bolt emoji. If you had to rate your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10, what number would you give it and why? I'll give you one more, all caps. Your name came up. Today at our coaches meeting, we looked at the list of people who reached out recently and your name was on the list. The coaches wanted me to reach out and ask, what's your main fitness goal? And so all of these are meant to be very different than we know, hey, first name, we've seen that. Like you don't want to send too many texts that look and feel the same over and over because then the brain catches patterns and then it starts to block you out, right? So use these pattern interrupts and I got way more in the guide, right? And so that's where I'm going to leave you guys here is like out of the 21, I gave you 5 that I think are very powerful and actually would add the most firepower to your lead nurture if you use them. So go use those 5. If you want all of the 21, I got a free guide called 21 Ways to Get Your Leads to Reply. I put it in the description of these comments so you can go and click on it and download it immediately and get access to it. But those are the 5 that I think make the most change in someone's lead nurture game. And I wanted you guys to get your hands on it now and not have to wait till you get the guide, right? So let's recap. We want speed to lead, but manage your expectations. That's not just the magic pill. It solves everything. It does solve it, pretty good, but not like, again, I think a lot of gym owners think. Second, personalized text, both for identifying your name and the client's name. Channel rotation, use text, emails, phone calls. Emotion-based questions, get out of the logic. And then the 5th one is pattern interrupts to stand out in their messages, okay? So guys, that's it. If you need help deploying these things, our team is trained on doing all of them. So we can do this for you. Just go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call. We'll happily do all of this lead nurture work for you. If not, take that free game, execute it, and get yourself some more members through the doors. All right, talk soon. Hey, before you go, do me a big favor and give me a 5-star review. That helps me get the word out about this show and helps more gym owners to learn about these strategies so they can change more lives in their community. So give me a 5-star review and I'd appreciate it very much. Talk soon.